Do you believe the saying that there are no accidents, only grace? Is that something true
Yes, that's
in your
true.
experience?
Yes. It could not have just happened just like that. It's a journey. God just wants you to go through that journey for some reason. God wants you or put you in that, to let you grow. It's part of growth as an individual and as a Christian.
In that context, Senator De Lima, in my opinion, I think the presence of your cats was not an accident.
It was not. Because you see, I used to hate cats. I'm a dog lover. I have several dogs at home. They also hated cats. But then, nung nasa loob na ako, all of these stray cats starting coming to my compound, and I've learned to appreciate them. I started feeding them. Iba-iba, more than 20 minsan, more than 30 minsan, sometimes less than 20, because some would just leave. They won't come back anymore. And some would get sick and die.
Stray cats. These are stray cats.
Stray cats. And some were regulars, and some were mainstays. And the mainstays became my favorite. Mainstays because they're right there, just there in my compound. And 2 or 3 of them would sleep in my room, in my quarters every night. Nag-aagawan sila dun sa single bed namin. I have a single bed, and 2 or 3 of them would sleep with me. So I got attached to them. And so I was so lonely, so it was a mixed feelings. I was happy, of course, that finally freedom is here, although it's provisional freedom. But then again, especially when I was leaving already, physically leaving my compound, I was actually almost in tears because I was leaving my world for almost 7 years, including the stray cats, because I could not bring them all. I could only bring 5 of them. Hindi ko kayang uwi sila. There would be no space anymore in our house, and especially that there are also dogs there. So I just chose yung favorites, my favorites, but it could have been more. But those that I left, I knew that they're the strong ones. They're like Tiger. One of them is Tiger.
The name is Tiger.
The name is Tiger. It's a big one.
Did they have names?
Yes, most of them have names.
There were around 20 cats, right?
Almost 20 cats.
Almost 20 cats.
Yung mga pinangalanan ko, yung iba kasi hindi naman sila masyadong regular. But yung mga regular, mga pinangalanan ko, some of them left already. There's Blackie, there's Ghost, there's Rob, there's yung mga characters ng Game of Thrones. Because you see, while inside, we had movie viewing privilege every Saturday, once a week, 1 to 5 in the afternoon. So natapos ko yung Game of Thrones, natapos ko syempre yung Chloe, natapos ko yung and several other good series. And so some of the characters in Game of Thrones, pinangalanan ko sila. And then meron ako pinangalanan na Avatar and Duchess, but Duchess left. She's among the 5 that I brought home. But first night pa lang umalis siya. Nanibago siguro. She never came back, although I was looking for her for a few days, but I never saw her again. That's Duchess. So there's just 4. But then again, I just recently adopted 2 kittens who were roaming around there in the village, in the subdivision. So 6 na ngayon ang aking alaga.
You said in a previous interview that each of the cats has a character.
They do. Like human beings. They have may mga mababait, may suplada, may pasaway, may matapang, may behaved. One difference between cats and dogs is dogs easily recognize you, acknowledge you, and treat you as their principal, as their boss. But the cats, initially, it would be the other way around. Susuyuin mo sila. They think you owe something to them, and it's your duty, mandatory duty, to take care of them. But then when you get attached to them, they change. They now recognize you as their as their mother.
And you talk to them every day.
I talk to them.
Especially during the pandemic, right? When there was a lockdown and no one can visit you?
Yeah, no one, not even family, not even spiritual advisors, not even lawyers could visit for a few months. And so the only living being I would see would be the guards who would bring the food and the supplies just for a few minutes, and they'll be gone. So the only living being that I would be with would be the cats. And so I would talk to them. I really talk to them. And they all know their respective names.
Really?
Kilala nila kung sino sila.
So you talk to God and the cats?
Yes. It helps a lot, keeping my sanity intact.
What was one of the more interesting discussions you had with your cats?
Well, inaano ko rin sila na sabi ko, while I'm here, you have to keep me happy. You have to keep me company. Na tayo-tayo lang. And then I also scold yung mga pasaway.
Talaga?
I also scold them. Mm-hmm. And do some, ikaw, masyado kang hindi mo na kita papakainin. Something like that. But I did talk to them. And even now, I talk to my cats at home.
What are the names of the 6 cats you have now?
Now, Avatar, Dal, Lily, Otto. I named it after that movie, a man named Otto. A man called Otto. And then the new ones, Shogun and Golda. Little ones, kittens, a male and female.
Senator De Lima, whenever I hear the story about your cats, I remember the movie Castaway. I'm not sure if you've watched that. I think it was Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. It's like some man called Otto. Yeah, Tom Hanks.
And then
Castaway in an island.
Yeah, and the volleyball became his friend.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was alone and he would talk to the ball.
He was stranded. Yeah. Another thing that which I call, I think, a blessing, is because you learn to appreciate little things in life, seemingly mundane things that you never did before. Even the rains. When it's raining, I would be at the door of my quarters and looked and stared at the rains. And then I was never a plantita, and then I learned to be one, and lalo na nung pandemic, because I had a small garden there. So small blessings you learn to appreciate, small blessings in life which you take for granted ordinarily.
So going back to that quote I mentioned a while ago, that there are no accidents in life, only grace. Why do you think did God send you these cats?
Aside from, keeping me company, but to develop more my humanity. It adds to one's humanity if you become attached to other living creatures like pets, pet dogs, pet cats. So it adds to my humanity.
Animals add to our
humanity.
How does that happen? Can you explain how it happens?
It's difficult to explain, but it's the feeling of, we are the more blessed ones. Human beings are the more blessed ones. There are many other living creatures, all created by one creator. Now, all of them must have value in life. And yung lalo kang nagiging understanding, patient, and understand little things. These are seemingly little things. But then, because of that, mas something in you would glow, would feel something special. that you're able to commune and interact with other living creatures. And because of the attachment, I became more human, more understanding, kinder.
When you were explaining, there was one word that popped in my head: compassion.
Yes, compassion.
Compassion.
You become more compassionate. That's definitely true. More compassionate towards others.